everybody, how are you doing today? I'm going to start off today's video with some of the changes that I have made to my New York City half marathon training block. I mentioned in yesterday's video that I had some changes that I wanted to share, so we're going to start off with that today. We do have a short 3-mile run to do, get some extra mileage in, and yeah, so let's jump right into today's video. Alright, so we're going to start off here with me sharing my computer screen to kick this off, and you'll see here that I have highlighted in blue all of the training days that we've already gone through. On the leftmost column, column A, is the date of the first day of that training week, which is always a Monday, and then the last column in I here is essentially the total mileage for the week of the training block. So the first thing that I started to change is Sunday there were some scheduled races. There was a 10K which actually should have taken place this Sunday, and there was a 15K that I believe would have been this second Sunday that I have now entered 10 miles. And the change for this Sunday originally was made because there's actually a New York Roadrunners race, a 10K race next weekend that I'm registered for, and it's going to be on Sunday. So I figured I'd rather actually go for a race. Once I start to cross 6 miles, it's really tough, especially if there's snow where I am right now. Things like that, it's going to be very difficult to get a true race effort in without an organized race. So that's the decision I made there. Let me just move it since it's 1 week different. I'll do my 10K road race next weekend, and it'll actually be a scheduled event. The other thing that did, and you'll see here what I highlighted in yellow, are these nice chunks where I'm increasing my mileage. So the first part of the training block I went up 17, 18, then there was a cutback week, and now I'll have the chance to do 20 miles, 22.5 miles, 23.5 miles, so another little increasing block of time, and then the race week will jump back to 18.5. And then going forward, you'll see that there's another 4 weeks where I'm building in mileage before my final taper for the race. And part of why I did that was I just felt like if I continue to do the races, both this one and then the second 15K race, it just felt like I was going to cut back mileage again in this particular week, and I just would have never been building mileage that much, which to me, and you know how I started running, which was getting ready for an ultra marathon, if you believe it or not, or have heard that story, it just felt weird to not be building up the mileage. So I cut out one of the last 15K races, which again I think was this Sunday here, just added some more long running so that way I could have this nice solid build up of mileage. I have a real 10K race that I'm going to race here, and then the last little change is this final peak week before the taper. We have the Washington Heights Salsa, Shamrock, Blues, a lot of different names, 5K up in Washington Heights in New York City. So I had to switch the long run to Saturday, which is going to be a 12-mile run. And then the Sunday we're going to race on some tired legs, but we'll get our race in because it's a fun one for that 5K. And I think that's a perfectly fine way to basically cap off the training block, peak, do a little bit of a hard effort at the end of the weekend, and then start to taper things back. And remember, if you saw it or not, the original Hal Higdon plan was only 1 week of taper. So I had kind of built in an extra taper week here myself. Going back to the beginning. So we'll have that long run, that extra race, and then we'll taper, and that'll be the end of the training block, and we'll go into the New York City half marathon on March 20th of this year. All right, we're going kind of a new way down to the river. We got a fair bit of downhill running in the first mile and a half or so, or really the first mile, and then we'll have a good amount of uphill on the way back. So goal for today really is just stay warm, so have a little more positive experience than yesterday when I was really freezing, and just take it easy, take the downhill without being too aggressive, just go with it. And then for the uphill, slow down if I have to, just again keep it a nice recovery pace and recovery heart rate. All right, so we had a pretty successful recovery run overall. Our overall pace for today was 9:40 per mile. So you can see it was a little bit faster probably than, again, I should have gone for a truly easy recovery run for me. But nonetheless, heart rate was around 143, which was pretty good considering we had the big hill climb at the end. And you can see here in the mile breakdowns, it's a 921, 947, and 952 because, again, we went downhill and then a little bit uphill and then a little bit more uphill in that final mile, and my heart rate hit about 150 in the hill climb even though I was going closer to 10 minutes per mile. So overall, decent little run, nice way to get some mileage in, get a little bit of hill in there since there will be hills for the New York City half, but you know, in the end we got it done. So that's everything for today. Definitely leave a like if you made it this far in the video, and I hope to see you all in the next video.